Got it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our We Interview series here at Gaming Trend. Today, we have a special guest, Princess Zelda herself, Patricia Summersett. How are you doing today?
I am just fine, Adam. I've had my coffee. I've had a croissant. It's great.
That's amazing. Now, you've heard her voice in quite a lot, including Assassin's Creed, Star Wars Squadrons. I'm a big fan of Star Wars. But what brings us here today is the hit game. Like it has taken the world by storm. Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. We have some questions for the wonderful Patricia. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, of course
Okay.
I am. Of course I
Question number one. You've joined a franchise that is historically a fan favorite. Did you feel any pressure coming into the series at such an important role of being the one that the game is named after? What was your thought process when you originally got the role and when you knew that there would be a sequel?
am. Oh, well, yeah, two very different adventures, those things. When I first got the role, I found out what it was, of course, after auditioning and landing the role and then signing the NDAs. So it was a secret audition, as they often are. When I finally discovered it, I was quite sure it was going to be a big thing, but there was still a lot of mystery around it because there hadn't been a voice before. I mean, I was elated. There was no, I was surprised, maybe a little shocked, and just over the moon, and then really concerned about doing a good job for for a while. Um, it's just been an incredible, it was an incredible year, recording that in secrecy and then having absolutely no idea what was going to happen with the first game and just how big it was actually going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Zelda games are big and they usually come out and they're awesome, but
Mm-hmm.
who could have foreseen, the storm that was Breath of the Wild, really?
I don't think
So,
anybody. I
no.
truly don't think anybody thought that it was going to blow up as big as it did. Um, I, I
Right?
I got it day one. I had a day one Switch. It was the first thing that I ever played. It was just walking out that first time was breathtaking, but hearing the voices coming from characters was crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, so there has
Tell
been
me
some
about it.
time between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Mhm.
How has Zelda changed in your opinion as a character, as a princess, a warrior, etc.? How has she changed from the first game to the second game?
Well, it's so fascinating that you also have Hyrule Warriors in the middle there,
Mm-hmm.
where again, it's the same character, but in a different style of game. And some people have asked me, are you coming from a different place when you're performing that one? And the thing is, not really. It feels like it's been this really nice expansion and new contexts for the same character to play within, because it really is all coming from Breath of the Wild Zelda, in my opinion, because that's the one I started with. So I guess the evolution has been that she's, I guess when I first started creating the character, for my own voice actor imagination, I was drawing from a lot of different sources. And now I feel like she's dropped into me more. And so I trust
Nice.
what's already in there. And I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I wonder, there are always different directions that you get in the room for these different things. She's also had this offshoot game where she's been able to just be a fighter, with a different tone to it. So coming back for this one, I feel really grounded in it. And I think a word that I had thought of a lot was a sense of relief to be able to come back to a character that I feel I carry around a lot anyway.
Hmm.
But then I get another crack at just like a full new palette of things to explore within that character. So it's like just such an immense pleasure, and a physical one too. It's just an emotional. It's like really great.
I love that. Now, this is not one of my questions, but I do have to ask now. Have you played the other games like as you got the role, you started like looking at the other Zeldas and the other
Mhm.
iterations of
I
Zelda?
did. Yes.
Was there a favorite one? Like, did you have a game that was like, oh, before my game, which is clearly your favorite, I would have to assume. But other
Well,
than your
yeah.
games, was there a Legend of Zelda game that like, oh, this was my favorite?
I was re-enchanted by Ocarina of Time, remembering just how fantastic that game was, and me, I guess I was in high school or something, kind of late high school, looking at that game being played, trying little bits of it, but to reapproach it as an adult and just see like the ingenious elements in it is so much. It's so much more fascinating to kind of come back at this. So I would say probably that one. The original I revisited, and Twilight Princess,
I
which I
love
didn't
Twilight
have as much.
Princess.
Yeah, and it was from Twilight Princess that I found that version of Hylian to learn. So I do, I write a little bit in Hylian, and that's the
Wow,
version that I stuck to. So that one has a special place for me as well, I guess,
I
in this
love
process.
that. Okay, so back on track. I'm sure you've seen the reactions to the game at this stage, from cosplay to fan videos to simply reactions of people hearing the characters or seeing the characters. What's been your favorite like fan interaction slash thing you may have observed from the fan
uh,
base?
it's a little crude, but there is this fusing of weapons, and it became a blown up meme. I mean, there's so many of them now. They're so good. I think I had just a bunch of them shared with me yesterday. But there's one where somebody builds a robot with low-hanging fruit and then shoots the rocket off of the anyway, and
I've seen that
it all
video.
explodes and falls apart. That was the first big weapon fusion slash mechanical contraption that I saw put together. Because I've been busy this week, actually. I launched an album on Tuesday, so I was
Oh,
in
congratulations.
LA for the game, and then I came back and I launched an album with the big show. I have had not a lot of sleep, so I haven't actually had that much time to be online watching anything. So the stuff that comes at me, that was the first one
I
for
love that.
in all of its glory. That was the first, and I was like, "Oh, we are in for a ride. We are in for such a ride this year.
It's
It's gonna be
it's
so
it's been
entertaining."
exciting to see the fan reaction to it and seeing just like how much is going on. But those videos have been absolutely amazing.
What's your favorite? May I ask? Can I ask your favorite?
So, okay, I was one of those people that I tried my best to collect all the Korok seeds.
Yes.
I did not succeed because things came up and I had to stop playing it. But
Oh,
I do love the fact that people are kind of getting revenge by, I don't know if you've seen them, but like people are
I've
putting
heard of this, but I haven't
rockets.
seen it. Oh,
They're
okay.
putting
I
like
hear people
rockets on
saying,
the little
"Poor
Koroks and like
Koroks."
sending them into
No.
the air, and like
Oh my
there
gosh.
was the this is ground control to Major Tom, and it's like them sending a rocket into space, and like it's beautiful.
Can you send me
um
that right after so
I
I
I
can see
will,
it
I can
directly,
totally send
please?
that to you.
I know I'll get it eventually, but I want to see it today now.
I
That's
will send that to you as soon as we're done here.
Thank you.
So here's a big question that I try to ask everybody that I interview on this series.
Absolutely
um
not. I am just going to answer no more questions. Can you imagine?
what is one memory about your time working as an actor in gaming that will stay with you forever as a happy memory?
Oh, I always take ages to think of these questions. I mean,
It's a hard question.
I have a lot. I have a lot. There are so many, and with all the big franchises that I've worked with, there are numerous.
Just whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, right now the thing that's coming up for me is actually it's not Zelda, because there are several, yeah, there are several moments in and out of game with Zelda, with fan interactions that have been extraordinary for me, like just talking to fans, seeing cosplay, tattoos, meeting families that are named after the characters or have been lifelong fans of the franchise that I get a chance to like have like great old like chuckles and hugs with. It's really
Yeah.
really fun. Um, but I think of just the style of work that I get to do when I'm doing performance capture or something like that. And
Mm,
there have been some really cool rooms when I've been doing Ash from Rainbow Six, where
nice.
we've gotten to sort of train SWAT style infiltration with army people, um and just I guess like working with like Tachanka in a room.
Yeah, I can
Um
imagine that that's
yeah,
not
and he's like six
easy.
foot seven and very, very Russian, and
Yeah.
a big teddy bear ultimately. But in the room when you're all in character and in spandex, it's so funny. It's so, so funny. And you're just like, what is my life sometimes in those moments? Okay,
That
no,
you get to do this moment.
I've just thought of one of my all-time highlights, and this
Go for it.
was working with Rodney Mullen and John Bernthal simultaneously, Rodney Mullen, the skateboarder, doing cutscenes for Ghost Recon. That the game didn't take off, but the actual work in the room was truly exceptionally fun. And we all had this moment in on the motion capture stage where we were talking about Russia because I had trained in Russia for theater. John Bernthal had trained in Russia for theater as well, but he'd done like the full program there, which is
Mm.
crazy. And then Rodney Mullen was like, "Yeah, I spent some time in Russia. I was doing some skateboarding there and going over the monuments." And, he's like, "I don't think they like that very much." And I was like, "Whoa, what?" They were like, "Okay, and, ready to shoot." We're like, "Oh, okay, okay." And I was like, "What room am I in right now?"
He
That's
drops the
why.
bomb and then you have to
Yeah.
start acting.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, the triad of Russian memories of just being in Moscow. And then suddenly we were acting together and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Now,
So,
I
yeah.
absolutely love that. And fun fact, Ash was my main when I played
Oh,
Rainbow Six.
oh,
I was
gee.
terrible at the game, but I did enjoy playing with my friends.
I do not blame you. It is a very hard game. I've watched lots of pro players, and I don't even try. I don't even try anymore.
It's insane how good some of those people are at the game.
Yes.
So tell us, I've got my questions in, but tell us, you said you released an album.
Yeah, yes.
Tell us
My
about that.
band,
Where can people find it?
gosh, at somersetband.com. It's just this very low-key art folk album.
Nice.
And we play the name of the band is actually Somerset. It's just a little indie band based in Montreal, and we play with we're a duo, so piano voice duo, and then we play with 8 musicians.
Ooh.
A lot of them are like the two singers are artist, the voice actor, screen actor, singers who are just incredible storytellers all together. So we do a lot of harmonies, and then we have bass drums and violin, cello. It's like it's just great, and we've been doing this for nearly 10 years now, and this is our second album that we've released. So we were working on it for like, we were supposed to release during the pandemic. It all got delayed. We went back and rewrote, and now we've released May 2023 instead of May 2020, which took a long time, but it's
Hey,
so satisfying to make your own work. And I think some of the songs are really awesome. And we have a vinyl. Actually, it's supposed to come in the mail today. So I'm going to have like 200 limited order vinyls showing up at my door at some point.
wow.
Very
And they
fun.
can get that on somersetband.com.
Eventually.
Wonderful.
Probably I'll bring some of them to Comic Cons when I'm around. It's a very limited order, but yes, I should make some of them available for shipping so I can ship them out. So yeah, that'll be the plan.
Awesome. We'll put that in the description in the video.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll send you a link to a music video that we just released on Tuesday. It's really
Awesome.
delightful. Yeah. Why
Well,
not?
you have been so wonderfully pleasant.
Oh, thank you.
I
Are you
appreciate you, and
sure?
yes, I am sure. As a Zelda fan myself, I appreciate all the work that you clearly put into this character that's so important to so many people. I mean, how like, you said it earlier that people have named their kids after these characters, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that that's a surreal experience for you. But I just wanted to say how much we appreciate you and the work that you've put into this character, making her so special and making her a strong character. And it's just I
Thank you.
appreciate you doing this for us at Gaming Trend, and thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Adam. It's my pleasure and just a huge gift in my life. So I'm very happy to be strung along for this fantastic ride.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Take care.